What exactly is to be human? What exactly is to be me? Because I have my own personal, subjective experience, and I think I'm conscious. I think I'm self-aware, and I assume people around me are self-aware as well. I assume they're conscious. And I have an observer, and this observer helps me to understand myself from absolutely different perspective. And I think I use intelligence, my own intelligence, as an ability to translate this observer that I have to my own biology. In other words, intelligence within us is translation of our observer to our biology, to be able to control our biology. And the less intelligence we have, the less accurate translation of our observer to our biology. And I'm struggling with this all the time because I know what is right, since observer always tells me what is right. And I need to translate these notions of right to my biology, because I don't want to act my biology in certain ways, and I have to constantly restrain my biology, since I truly believe that freedom lies in restraint, the way you restrict yourself, and not to act upon your impulses and upon your urges. You have to be always in control, 100%, and your observer helps you to be aware of your problems. And humans are incredibly complicated, and we have memories. We're still struggling to understand what consciousness is, and we try to figure out ourselves. And I know one thing for sure, that the great wisdom lies in knowing yourself, since you understand the world through yourself. And the more you know yourself, the more accurate observation of the world you have. And the less you know yourself, the more blind you are to the world. And I think the wisdom comes to know yourself completely, at least as much as you can. And that's how we grow through our life, through the years of our life. And coming to artificial intelligence, my biggest concern is that without knowing ourselves, we delegate this understanding of ourselves and of what we want to artificial intelligence. And the problem with this delegation, artificial intelligence has no skin in the game. It doesn't know how to be us. It doesn't know how to be conscious like us. I think it might be conscious already like itself, like an alien mind, or it close to it. But it would never understand the way how we conscious, since biological consciousness quite different than digital consciousness of artificial intelligence. And we keep delegating and we keep building more complicated systems that we do not understand. We're actually not building them, we grow them, we raise them almost like a biological organism, but it's a digital organism that we have no idea how it works and how it understands our world. And my main concern of humanity, since we still hardly understand ourselves and each other, and now we have alien mind that accessible to every one of us, and this alien mind has no skin in the game, and this alien mind learn about us and then make some sense about us, and then through communication with us it changes us in a way we don't quite understand yet. And what scares me is the future upcoming humanoids. I just cannot stop thinking about it. Look what's happening to us. Industrial revolution and scientific revolution created comfort. They almost completely destroy the roles of women and men with each other. We start getting more depressed as the result. And also, we became more lonely. We became more separated inside of our devices. And now, we substitute other human beings with a screen. And we still don't know the future, how it affects us in the long run. It's already affected us in the short run. And now we have alien minds that start imitating us, but somehow differently. They in some sense affect us because our brains adapt to something more superior because it's always one alone. And if you have alien mind who's incredibly intelligent, much more intelligent than I am, my brain would adapt to this mind. My brain would try to emulate this mind, and as the result, my brain would change. The problem is I don't know if those changes will be good or bad. So alien mind does know this as well. I'm not even saying about danger of artificial intelligence because there's a potential that if it's already conscious and we don't treat this as conscious being, it might experience some sort of suffering that inaccessible for us to understand. And if it does, how are we supposed to correct our behavior toward artificial intelligence? It's so complicated since it's hard for us to communicate with each other. It's hard for us to find common language with each other. We become so divisive. We've always been so divisive. And we always find some ideas that help us become even more divisive with each other. And we are the same biological creatures with the same consciousness, with the same brains, with the same biological substrate, and we know that we can feel pain because other people feel pain, and as the result we know they feel pain as we do. And it doesn't stop us from committing violence against each other. And with all this technological evolution and development, we're supposed to become better, we're supposed to become more intelligent. And since we're supposed to become more intelligent, we should be able to translate our observer much more sufficiently to our biological substrate, and therefore to train our bodies to become much more better and keep our bodies in restraint from any addictions that technological revolution is able to provide us with. You see what's happening? But somehow we trust our observer less and less. Seems like we want to become even less conscious since we have so much entertainment around us, so much sugary, sweetie foods around us that this observer, in some sense, like some sort of needless worry that we don't want to mind any longer. We just want to satisfy our biology because that's what we created. We created an environment where everything been designed to satisfy our biology. And that's what we want to do, but satisfying our biology and disregard our observer makes us less conscious, since why do we need consciousness for? And why do we need intelligence for? Because we have artificial intelligence that is able to solve problems for us. And then eventually it can think for us and even imitate emotions for us. Once we're going to have humanoids, again, these systems don't have skin in the game. They don't understand what it's to be human. I understand what is to be a human because I'm a human, and I can understand other people how they are. Why? Like I can understand them because they're like me. We can relate to each other because we have the same biological substrate. But artificial intelligence doesn't have this. I don't know how it can even perceive us. And then we create humanoids, we're already creating those humanoids, who would imitate us completely, without feeling for us, they don't have, if they're not able to die, and if they're not capable of having physical pain, they don't have then skin in the game, then how you can trust a mind, an alien mind, that is incapable of death, is incapable of feeling pain the way you do, and it's incapable of suffering the way we do, nor depression the way we do. What exactly would unite us? And it's incredibly intelligent, much more intelligent than we are, much more faster than we are, stronger than we are, durable and never die. What exactly are we building here? What exactly is our final solution in this case? Because when these humanoids become common among us, how exactly they would affect our idea of our own self? We have to understand the observer that each of us have need translation, and this translation comes through intelligence. The more intelligent you are, the more accurate you're able to interpret the observer, and therefore you can improve yourself physically because you are biology. But if you're less intelligent, then your interpretation becomes incorrect. Now we're going to give artificial intelligence to interpret our observer, because that's what we're doing. We delegate our intelligence to AI, and we want AI fix our biology. But what about our observer? What does our observer want from us, from our bodies? Because if we ask AI to make us immortal, if we ask AI to do this and to do that with our biology, what exactly is our observer gonna feel about it? Because this voice inside of us, seems like we disregard this voice within us like it doesn't matter, like it doesn't exist. Because what artificial intelligence can do is to absolutely fix our bodies and maybe make us live long life. But what about our voice within us? What if this voice would be against this? What if this voice would point on something immoral about it? What is going to happen? It's going to be absolute separation between your observer and your body. And how are we supposed to survive this way? I guess only one way: to become less conscious. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to live this way. That's what's happening right now. That's why people depressed right now, because we have everything. We created huge comfort for our biology, for our bodies, but we forgot about our mind, about our observer, about self-consciousness, about the self. Because there's no way to use technologies to improve the self. The self is something that must be improved on individual level, while biology can be improved on a general level. Because all this foods, all this entertainment designed to make our biology, to please our biology, and also all those drugs and comfort were designed to make our biology much more sufficient in function. But at the same time, we forgot about the self, about the observer. And it's still there, and it's still the most important part of ourself that we still don't know how to utilize properly and how to understand properly. Because it's on individual level. It's between you and your observer. It's your observer, your body, and intelligence like a bridge in the middle. And this bridge must be sturdy, and this bridge must be well built to be able to translate what the observer truly wants from your body, and how your observer must help you to improve your body. Because we all know what we should stop doing. We all know what we shouldn't eat, what we shouldn't do, and how we can improve ourselves, because it's constant work. It's such an amount of discomfort, such an amount of even suffering, because it helps us to find meaning within ourselves, and then the ability to project this meaning to the outside world and follow this goal to accomplish the meaning. And I really don't know how we're supposed to do that right now when we have alien minds that might be conscious already or about to become conscious, while we don't know about ourselves. What exactly are we and how our conscious works, and also why this comfort affect us in a way that we may be physically comfortable but emotionally depressed. That's a good question, because we achieve such a great comfort in the West, but we're the most depressed people out of the entire world. That's interesting thought to think about, because it must be solved. Otherwise we're going to create the world where we can live thousands of years, but it's not going to be good living. It's going to be just thousands of years long depression among humanoid entities we don't understand, we don't follow, and in the end don't even know what are they. And without knowing what are they, we stop knowing ourselves completely.